Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to read a nonfiction book. A nonfiction book means it's about real things, things that really happen or that you really see in your life and in our world. The title of this book is Halloween. That's that big word that starts with the letter H. Now we're going to do what's called a book walk. A book walk is when you don't read all the words. You don't read all the text. You look at the pictures and you talk about some things. And that's what you and I are going to do today. Okay? Let's learn some things about Halloween because it's coming up in a few weeks. Actually, it's coming up this week, isn't it? At the end of this week. Now, what day is Halloween? Halloween is this Saturday. And here's the date. Say October the 31st. Every year when October the 31st comes, it's Halloween. Now, on Halloween, some of us go trick-or-treating. Let's look at the illustration here. I see some kids with some pretend costumes right here. And I see that it's nighttime. And I know that because I see the moon and stars, and the sky is dark. So you might go trick-or-treating this year on Saturday. Now, some of you will go to people's houses. Some of you will go to your friends or family's houses. Some of you might go to a church or to a mall or to a special place for treats. Everybody does Halloween a little differently, okay? One thing that a lot of people do on Halloween is carve a pumpkin. Now, we're going to carve our Bubba 2.0 this Friday. Carving a pumpkin means opening up the top. Sometimes you put a face on it, and then it becomes a jack-o'-lantern. We're going to take our Bubba 2.0, and we're going to open him up like this. And we're going to see what's inside of him. We're not going to put a face on our Bubba. We're not going to turn him into a jack-o'-lantern. But we are going to look inside to see what's in there. All right. Let's talk about costumes. If you go trick-or-treating on Halloween, or if you just dress up for fun on Halloween, you might wear a costume. A costume is clothes or masks or hats, things that make you become something pretend, something make-believe. You might dress up like some of these friends here. I see a ghosty. This one makes Miss Hilaire laugh. Somebody dressed up like an old lady there. And there's all different kinds of costumes at Halloween. Remember, we've talked about this. If you see something that looks scary, what are you going to remember? Say, just pretend. Just pretend. Sometimes people decorate for Halloween. In our classroom, we've got lots of pumpkins and little pictures of bears with costumes. You might see houses decorated like this with pumpkins or ghosties or moons. You might even see some scarecrows with pumpkin heads. We know about that. Remember the book, The Little Old Lady Who Was Not Afraid of Anything? Remember that? Here's a scarecrow sitting on a front porch. Lots of decorations sometimes around Halloween time. Now, Miss Perez has talked to you guys about this, about what to do if you do go to houses for candy. Here's a picture of some kids trick-or-treating. Remember what she's taught you. You always go with a grown-up. You don't eat anything that a stranger gives you unless a grown-up checks it first. And if you're outside at nighttime like this, bring a light with you, a flashlight, so that you can see and so that grown-ups that are driving around can see you. Okay? Here's some friends in their costumes looking at the treats that they've received. And remember, if you do receive treats, after you get your treat or your candy, do you remember what you're supposed to say? That's right. You say, thank you. Here's a picture of a happy Halloween party. There's a pretend skeleton, pretend jack-o'-lantern, just fun decorations sometimes you see around Halloween time. Sometimes there's also things to eat that are special at Halloween, like candied apples or pumpkin cookies. I love that picture, the teeny tiny pumpkin cookies. Or maybe cupcakes or popcorn balls. There's all different kinds of treats usually around Halloween. But the thing Miss Hilaire wants you to remember the most is if you see something scary or somebody in a scary costume, don't be afraid. Remember, look at them and think, just pretend. You're just fiction, you're just pretend. But this book was nonfiction because it's teaching us about the Halloween holiday. Okay? All right. I hope you enjoyed that book, Halloween. Remember, we did not read all the text. Miss Hilaire did not read all of these words. We did a book walk. That's when you just look at the illustrations or the photographs. This book was illustrations. That means like cartoon. And we talk about it. And that's what you and I did together today. All right, friends. Good listening. See you later.